Welcome back to Upper Michigan Today, everybody. We are continuing our discussion about art therapy and the power of using art to heal. So we're back with Bill Irving and Bill Hager. Bill, you have an art workshop coming up in Marquette. So we've just got a slideshow. This isn't your entire presentation. This is just some examples of art therapy. But I want to talk more about how you use art as a tool and why you want to share this with your fellow veteran community members.
It's been very beneficial to me. There's a picture, a Scandinavian picture about a scream, and one of the first pictures I painted when I got home was the scream, and I gave all that stuff away a long time ago. But I think even taking your time and focusing on what you're doing is therapeutic. I had this idea about doing the workshop here a year ago, and so I've been adding to it as we go along here.
Yeah.
One of the people, this is the screen right there, right to the...
Oh, this one, yeah, the Edward Munch or whatever.
Yeah, Scandinavian guy.
Yeah.
So I did something like that. But you look at the pictures here, the one up there is mine, but you've got, from World War II, you got that one, and the Pieta. And so the idea is, how do you express emotions? How do you express in artwork, 2D form, or words, whatever? How do you express that, what you've got in your mind, on paper or in art? And that's therapeutic. It's like writing a journal, if you will.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't have the words.
Yeah.
So the paintbrush, the pen, that becomes your method of speaking, so to speak. What kind of response have you gotten from other participants in your art therapy programs?
Well, this is brand new. There's something called Wounded Warrior down in Wisconsin, and there's a veteran that I talked to. He's got, and this is the purpose of our group there. So down in Wisconsin, and they gave them a mask, and on one side you paint what you portray to people, and the other side what you are inside, which could be very different, right?
Right.
So all the stuff you feel, but I'm fine today, but you're really not fine. So the idea is to help other veterans, other people, actually to be able to find a medium that they like and to be able to express whatever that may be.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be painting. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be writing. It can be whatever is suited to you best.
Yes.
Art. This is art by and for prisoners of war. So this is just an example of that. And then I think
one in the middle is somebody did that on soap.
On soap.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
POW did that.
So showing, getting creative with the resources too, when they're very limited. And this is, I take it, these are yours. We have this one and that one.
This is a man that used to have a restaurant in Irving. His name is Steve Wallstrom. And his pictures, there's a number of them. And he did kind of what I do, only different style. But they're over at the Marquette High School, kind of back in the corner. But all these pictures, he made pictures of veterans that he knew, and made a picture of them to immortalize them, actually.
What do you hope people take away and gain from attending your workshop?
Well, I'm hoping they discover that they have an artist. People complain that all they can do is stick figures. But really, what you do is you start with an idea and you develop it. Now, these are famous people that used art as therapy. Winston Churchill, up left-hand corner, and George W. Bush, he paints, and he did a book, Portraits of Courage. And this is a familiar face, Bob Ross.
Oh yeah, big.
He was an Air Force guy, and he said he didn't want to yell at people anymore, so he got out of the service, and 3 years later he started Bob Ross.
And became the most gentle soul known to man.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Bill Hager, what kind of advice would you have for your fellow veterans, you know, that might be struggling to express themselves and maybe looking for an outlet like art? How would you advise them to get started?
I think anytime you can convert what's in your mind and what's in your heart through emotions to something that you do with your hands or your body, and you have to find that balance between the idea, the message, the emotion that you're feeling, and transmit that to your hands or to whatever venue you're going to use to express that. And there has to be a balance. If you don't have that emotion or you don't have that feeling, what you do with your hands doesn't always communicate itself. And the other half of that, you have to have the technical ability with your hands to take what's in your head or your heart and put it into some type of an art form.
Do you ever struggle when you're engaging in your various forms of art, struggle recollecting these memories and revisiting these experiences?
No, I don't. I would guess that some people may, but I don't. What happens is I have a feeling, I have an idea, something strikes me.
Yeah.
And it just looks for a way to come out. You know, when I make these sticks that I give away, I look at a likely looking piece of wood and I start carving on it, and it takes its own shape.
Yeah, and it just whatever comes of it.
It's through what I looked at and saw that would be a good stick for somebody, and it goes into my hands, and this is the end result.
Yeah.
And when I write, it's the same thing.
And it's, I take it you're probably not always necessarily writing for an audience. It's really just more for you. And Bill, I take it you're not always painting to show in a gallery. It's more about the process. It's art as therapy. But of course, there are you know, some opportunities to engage with you, some resources, whether it's your art class or another one like Marlene Wood. She's a frequent guest on our show here. I know she does some art classes as well. But when can people get involved with your workshop, and what can they expect from that?
Well, it's going to be Peter White on Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just a 1 hour segment for that or more, but it's set aside for 1 hour. But we're going to have recurring workshops through the summer, and we're aiming for a couple venues. One is the this right here. This is the Vietnam or veteran thing. Different kinds of artwork, different kinds of things, and this is like Bill was talking about for words. I think Bill, you submitted to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a long time ago. But you have to have the format they're looking for.
Okay.
So there's outlets for that. In the fall, there's going to be a show at St. Boniface in Escanaba. I participated with that a couple years ago. But the different art forms, one did barbed wire and all the things that were in his mind from that. So different kinds of things. So, and also there's a gallery in town, Wintergreen Gallery. She's offered to take the results from our what we're doing in the workshops here and have a showing for that.
Very nice.
So I think one of the things, you do art and you got your private gallery at home, but it's fulfilling to be able to have other people look at it and get what their thoughts from that, or if they like it.
Certainly. So, I mean, there are many opportunities to engage with the veteran art world. I wanted to thank the both of you for being here this morning, for sharing a bit about your story. I hope you'll stick around and join us again at the end. But coming up, we're learning about a different type of support and therapy for veterans. We're talking about the great outdoors. We'll be joined by Courage Incorporated next.